It says in verse 15, it says, for we are the sweet fragrance of Christ which exhales unto God indiscernible alike among those who are being saved and among those who are perishing. Now, here's one thing I know, is you can only live for an audience of one. It doesn't matter whether you're living for saved people. Matter of fact, I had to get born again and come to the church to learn how to be scared. Before I gave my life to Christ when I was 17 years old, and I was knocked out on my high school dance floor when I was 17 years old, resuscitated back to life. I was fighting and I was using drugs. I was kicked out of school by the 8th grade. Didn't even know if I'd ever graduate from junior high, let alone high school. And what I can tell you is that the church sometimes can actually put fear on people. I came to the gospel of Jesus Christ, and even though I was stupid sometimes, I was never afraid of anybody. I was never afraid of anything. But you come to the church, then what ends up happening is you get a brand new slate, you get a clean slate, and now people tell you that you're never going to be able to mess up again. And you know what? If I told that to my children, that would be a big mistake, because I'm supposed to allow my children to make some mistakes. And when we go to school, it's supposed to be that. You go to school so that you can learn, which means you don't know how to do everything yet, so you're going to make some mistakes in the learning process. When we go to church, we're supposed to be going to school. And so we got to live for the audience of one. We got to live out of the fear of God, being more concerned about what he thinks about us rather than being more concerned about what people think about us. Because when I came into ministry, it would be like I would never prophesy over anybody. Why? Because if you prophesied over somebody and you were wrong, then you would be relegated to the back seats somewhere, and that meant that you're never going to preach and you're never going to be used. What does that do? It causes fear in your life because you're afraid to make any mistakes. And the reality is, it's in the midst of making mistakes that you actually step out and you do things, and sometimes you do it right and sometimes you do it wrong, and when you're doing it, you actually learn to discern what's God and what's not God. And so it becomes important for us to be focused on him, and that we're living our life out of an audience of one. The fear of man wants to eat your lunch, because it doesn't just want you to be fearful of one area. It wants you to be fearful of everything. And if you give into fear in one area of your life, I guarantee the thing will want to move in and take in other rooms in your house. He wants to take over.